Well. I would say good morning, good night, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, dear. I'm here to trouble you again. And I have an interesting proposition for car owners and, the dealerships. You notice I like to mess with Tesla, Mazda, and Toyota, and the other automakers, but in general, I like to mess with Mazda. So, look at my shirt. Yeah? Not bad, right? It says keep it classic. Let me try something different. Because they did say I need to change my shirt, so I'm trying to change my shirt. And then, I saw the other videos I made with Sport Mazda North, and I'm like, poor thing, I feel so bad for Ryan. I thought I spoke slower. I was speaking slow, I tried, but I noticed that when I was talking by myself, I was a little bit slower, like in the other videos. But as soon as I got to talk with Ryan and to talk about the cars, you see what happened to the speed? Everything's so that's just how it goes. If you're excited about something, you're passionate about it, it comes out. But also remember the Bible said, if you speak a lot of words and no one could understand you, eh, okay? So it's best to speak slow. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my best to speak slow. So I have a challenge here. We've had ice bucket challenges. You've had all these different things they've done in the past. And you're like, okay, where are they now? All these trends and fads, they worked back then. I said FADS, fads. They worked back then and they all faded away. But I have an interesting one because, as I said, we like cars and automobiles and we like even Tesla. I like Tesla, okay? No hate in there. I like Tesla. So all those who put in the comments, you should love Tesla. Trust me, I love Tesla too, okay? I'm just looking for practicality. And I like Toyota as well. I actually plan to do a video on both Toyota and Tesla, as soon as I can get everything set up. But for now, I have a challenge. Now, I said before in the other videos that I would one day hope to kind of get some things together so we can try to do a little cross-country run. I want to see the 50 states. I want to see the whole continental US. And here's what I want to do. If anybody well, not anybody, but I'm looking at the automakers in particular because they have the backing. We just the people who just have the ideas and dreams, but I want to be sponsored by them. So here's the thing. I would like to take a nice CX-5, even mine, the same 2021, right? Or a CX-90 if Mazda is willing to offer one up there, just to kind of try it out and say, let's take it cross country. Let's go take it around the country and maybe we might time it to do maybe different seasons or maybe just drive as is now and just see how it is and just see how it holds up, Because I know there's a lot of the automakers that make the vehicles and they do all the testing. And then when they get to market, it's still got to be tested again. And then people give, they give feedback and they send the surveys out, which is, we think is very good that people can actually give their feedback and say, hey, this is what I noticed, this is what I wish, like little things. I wish they had some more lighting in the footwells of some of the vehicles. I wish they had more lighting under or above the cigarette lighter, that was a term before, or like the auxiliary port where you can plug your stuff in. A little light there to see everything, like a light around the ring like they did back in the days. That would be very nice so I can see where it is. Thankfully now I see at least the buttons next to the say the hood or the trunk and stuff, not the trunk actually, the hood and the gas tank. I see that actually now it's illuminated. Yeah, those things are nice. Ambient lighting around the back. Look at my coconut head, you see? I told you I have a coconut head. Look at the muscles too, right? All the ambient lighting around the car, those are nice. Toyota had a nice thing. When we had the Highlander, beautiful ambient lighting around the car. Mercedes and BMW, they have it already going. I think Tesla have it too. Just beautiful color tones. It just kind of makes it feel classy, luxurious, classy. Even something as simple as a speaker above the driver so the people in the passengers, they can hear what you're saying and the passengers can hear you also. But the challenge is this. I would like to do a competition between ICE and BEV. ICE, right? Internal combustion engines, and BEV, battery electric, right? Vehicles, okay? So let's say, for instance, Mazda, ICE, but they also have some BEVs and some PHEVS in between. You want to call it PHEV, I call it PHEVS, okay? And also Tesla, which is fully BEV. I would prefer, and I tend to send some emails and texts to Tesla, Elon Musk, if I can get his information. I would like to talk to him too. He's a brilliant man, very brilliant, smart man, and very interesting how he does and runs a business. He puts his heart into it, and that I admire. I saw some documentaries on him of how he actually helped to form Tesla and what he had to go through, the grueling test, thinking that sometimes he would fail, investing everything into it, and then the other company that has also for the solar power. I mean, he's doing some serious diversification there. Plus with the, with the satellite systems he's doing and the rockets, space system to get to Mars. God bless him. I like Earth still. I want to stay on Earth for now. On Mars, maybe I'll watch the video that he make when he gets there, or they make. But for now, I would like to do a competition and kind of put this thing not just to the rest, but let's have some fun. Okay? We have enough issues going on. You have wars here. Everybody's fighting for something over bathrooms, or fighting for religion, or fighting for something. I'm like, as I said, keep it classic. Let's try to keep it classic. Let's have some fun. I said, you remember back then, people used to have racing competitions around the country, see who can make it there first. Or you remember the old story back then of John Henry, where you can see the railroad steam powered versus manpower. I'm like, hey, if ice is going extinct, as they're trying to tell us, I don't believe it. If BEV is actually coming up, I'm like, let's see. Right now, I don't see the grid or the network there to make it practical with all these people in the world and all the different cars and variety of stuff. And I don't see anybody willing to give up their big pickup truck with a Hemi and a V6 and those hauling boats and stuff to take another purely electric vehicle. So I think they have their place, and other people can agree or disagree. That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, just me too. Okay? But I think they have a place. I think they have a lot of practicality, and Tesla has a lot of technology. And other automakers now are coming up. Audi, BMW, Mercedes. All these guys, Toyota, everybody has some take on it. But this is what Toyota decided to do. Toyota's like, they're not going to put every full investment into just BEVs. You got to keep some line up there, because if EMP, you keep hearing about it. If something happens and everything is wiped out, can you drive the car? Now, even the other ones that are gas powered, they're so electrical right now with all the microprocessors and stuff. So rumors of trouble happening in Taiwan and other places, that can affect it. And I really do think manufacturing needs to be brought onshore of the US so that we don't have to be dependent upon anybody else anymore. America has enough resources. Look at the history and the founding of America. Hence 1776, right? Wait, so I start over here. America has such an interesting history and background. If people study the history, it tells you so much. From Carnegie and steel and the railroad and how they did, and even how they created the highways. Where a lot of things are taken for granted. A lot of the monuments, the statues, a lot of the places, the landmarks, they're taken for granted, and people need to go back to those. So when I said fun, I would like, by the grace of God, if some automakers take up this challenge, let's have some little friendly fun competitions of saying, let's take some vehicles, ICE and BEV, Mazda and Tesla, or Mazda, Toyota and Tesla, or anybody who wants to jump in. BMW, I would like to see that too. Audi, hey, Mercedes. Let's take some vehicles, go from some particular starting points, and let's travel the country. We do it in segments. Maybe sometime we drive to the Northeast coast, maybe to Maine, or maybe to New York, or maybe to maybe down, maybe to Michigan. And then next time we could try to go to, Indiana, or maybe further off to Oregon, California. Let's travel the whole country. Let's see. And it doesn't have to be all at once. We can do it in segments, and get drum up support and get people involved, get sponsors involved, because I can't drive and have the video at the same time unless they have the setup. And I'm still starting off new. So to get the stuff set up, it takes a lot of funding and stuff to do it, A lot of videos are made and people are putting a lot of investment and time and stuff into it. I'm just an underdog here trying to come in here and try to say something too, and just kind of let my little 2 cents say something, But other people have made some amazing videos. And as I said, look at people like Everyman Driver and, TFL Car and those guys. These guys are doing great stuff. Consumer Reports, great stuff and great videos. And I'm like, Edmonds, those guys are really making it. Car Scoops, Car Wow. I like it, And I'm saying, I think they should do this, because I see competitions of people racing BEVs or racing ICE versus BEVs or this. We're not in a race in that regards. But we want to say, hey, let's take some trips from starting points here and there, and maybe let's end up in destinations like the national parks. Let's go see what they got. Let's go see the national parks. Let's go there and maybe make some things and maybe see, hey, using your car as it is, from one point as it is, maybe if you can get the same tires, best, but keep some things common and the same. At the same time, let's see. If I leave from Florida in mine, Mazda, and Tesla leaves from the same destination, how long realistically does it take you to get to the same place in Michigan or to get to Maine? Okay? Let's keep it practical. How many charges, how many things, how much gas, how much full-ups, and how much it costs. So those are factors. I've seen people do some things similar and taking a particular vehicle across. And I'm saying, it's not to insult or put anybody down, but just saying, I think ICE vehicles, right, gas-powered vehicles still have a place and they should not be taken out. Okay, even though they're fossil fuel driven, we have a lot of reserves of fossil fuel in this country itself. Okay, so we need to actually tap those resources again and be more independent, because we can't be too dependent on someone else, because as the Bible said, right, the borrower is servant to the lender. If we're dependent on everybody else for our resources, including our pharmaceuticals, we're going to be in trouble. And if you don't see what happened, we're in trouble already. So we got to start getting back to how it is. So instead of us trying to see how to get the biggest bombs and the biggest rockets and somebody mess with the nuclear button, can we have some fun? Look at things in Russia. Russia's a beautiful place from some of the videos I've seen. Look at the subways you've seen there. It's like museums down in the subways. I never knew that, but I have a lot of Russian friends, and they're like, hey, we love it over there. We're having fun. I'm like, yeah. I want to see places like Russia, China, Japan. I want to see Thailand. I want to see the Philippines. I want to see Oregon. I want to see all this. I want to see Canada again. I want to see all these different countries here. Fiji, Hawaii. Look, Switzerland, Norway, Italy, all over. Okay, like the Caribbean. We have so many things we can do, so many wonderful things we can do. So why bother spending time fighting so much? And if the Bible said our struggles are not against flesh and blood, human beings per se, and we're fighting against spiritual forces and rulers of darkness in high places, then really, we're not really fighting each other. We're really fighting against some bad hombres, some bad stuff there, okay? And that's the devil and the evil people, okay, who want to be led by them. But we want to do good. And so let good overcome evil, okay? Well, in order to do that, you actually gotta laugh and have fun, and to get back to some of the classic stuff, okay? Families, get back to that, okay? Rest times, relaxation, recreation, go travel to national parks, bring some attention to those things. Preservation, get back to see how it is. Take a nice slow trip and slow down. I wonder when they call things flyover country. I think because everyone else fly over to the east or west coast or north and south and forget the little countries in between. The little states in between. But when we did the cross-country trip, I noticed that it was so nice. Some of the states we saw, Illinois, Missouri, Oklahoma, beautiful land. I saw animals there I didn't see in so long since I was a kid. Ponies and donkeys and chicken. I think I saw a llama come places here. I don't know if it's a yak or llama. I think it was a llama, okay? Big difference, right? A lot of stuff you see there, but open swaths of land. America has a lot of beautiful places, beautiful landmarks. And the national parks like Yosemite, okay, and Yellowstone, those things we need to see again. Bring the children out. Let them see nature. Instead of being stuck inside in a classroom all the time, let them see some hands-on. Let them get practical and see, hey, this is the railroad, this is the stuff. Like a nice school trip. But in terms of the competition we'd like to have, let's take some vehicles and go cross-country and see, hey, how far can we go with this, Let's see. Let's have a fun with it and say, hey, I think ICE vehicles have a place. So does BEV, and as well as Toyota says, hydrogen fuel cell, and I think BMW said the same thing at one point. Don't negate it out. We might need every bit of it soon, even maybe nuclear. Never know. You're powering cities with it right now. Can we do that stuff? What I wish they would do, if they would do full electric, have like battery swappers that I heard them talking about in some parts in China, where you can just bring the car up there and swap the batteries out. But with all the millions and billions of vehicles around the world on the road, and to get the resources for those components, we might be looking into some issues here. So I'm like, I'm still saying, why can't these vehicles just be continuously self-recharging? Why do I have to plug it in anyhow? Why not have a generator or something built into the system so that the car can continuously charge itself? If we say we have regenerative charging now, why not just keep continuously regenerating? Put the motor in there, as the car drives itself, it just keeps charging itself. Solar panels here and there, every day. But think about it. If they're talking about they want to dig up the infrastructure of the road and put magnetic strips here to make cars like magnetic things you can see on TV, or or to be stuff like that, to wire the system, you have to dig up a lot of highways and a lot of stuff. We can't even fix potholes right now. You want to dig up the whole road and make it all electrically suited only, and to wipe out gas-powered vehicles? Some people are going to get upset. I'm going to be upset too. I'm already upset. Okay? I think they're practical and they have a place. This is how we all different. Bring them all, let them all work together. Okay? Maybe in some different settings, a way it's like in-state and your predictive route, take the take the BEV or the PHEV, take those. If you have another vehicle, fine. But if I want to go cross-country and I want to go haul in a lot of weight and cargo, or want to go here and there, I like what Rivian's doing, definitely, I like what BMW is doing. Audi, I like those guys too. Tesla, I like all of them. All these other makers, listen, I love cars, trucks, pickups, all this stuff. I like it. All-wheel drive in particular, I'm biased to those. But I'm also seeing things like bikes and motorcycles. I keep seeing these things about they're going to make motorcycles all-wheel drive also. And with the 4 wheels and they can lean and pivot and stuff. Where are they, man? All I see is concepts and concepts. You look at those transportation videos online on YouTube. Concepts. But when they do have them, it's at a very high price point. Can we get more of those things here like this? People need to get some fun again, okay? They've been locked up for too long and all these different things, and they've been too busy doing other things they shouldn't be doing. So can we get back to stuff we could be doing? Some nice stuff we can have fun. Like I like to see stuff like Dakar, off-road racing, cars driving in the ice, mud, snow. I like off-road things, in the sand. All those commercials we'll see of vehicles. Commercials of all the time, people having fun, splashing into salt water. It's not too good for your car, though, it rusted fast. But splashing into the water, climbing up hills and mountains, going camping, going in nature scenes. There's a reason why they actually show those videos, right? Because that's what we aspire to. It gives us hope. Because we all want to be free and open. Hence, panoramic roofs versus singular. Tesla, open completely panoramic roof of just that's amazing in itself. To build that roof and to have such a nice structure, that's amazing. Okay? So I'm saying, I have nothing against that. So I see people making videos of scratching Teslas, farting on Teslas, cursing Teslas, and giving them the finger, all this stuff, and ramming Teslas. Look at the Sentry system. Look at the technology there. Tesla's doing an amazing work. It's a beautiful vehicle. I went in there and I'm like, we took some, try it out, but we didn't drive it because, I don't want to get some accent with it. But we went in there and tried them out. Nice, beefy, fat tires, speed, torque, beautiful designs, amazing stuff, and simplicity in design and the interior. Clean and simple, no clutter, nice. A lot of technology, very innovative, very, very Elon Musk, I would like to ask you and talk to you one day too. I wish one day you would sit down and talk with us. It's kind of hard to get to talk to some people because, we're so here and they're so there. And I'm like, I think he has a lot to offer and a lot of ingenuity. And he's made some very interesting comments over the last couple of months, some years in general. And I think he's someone to be spoken to, in a good way. He has a lot to offer. So does everybody else too, whether in Congress or politics here and there or in life. We all have a lot to say. And I think it'd be nice if we can say it instead of having to be so careful with the words we choose. Like right now, I'm making a video and I got to be so careful not to say any words. And be a flag and then, this violates company policy or guidelines. And I'm like, people can just choose if they want to listen to it or not. People curse profanity and other stuff. Some don't. You make movies with profanity and some don't. You make all different variety of stuff. You can choose PG or R, PG-13, G. Everyone is your choice. I would prefer people make things in a more godly-centered, family-friendly manner that everyone can watch without having to be like, But at the same time, we're living in a world, we have other forces we're fighting against other than just ourselves. So if you're up for it and if people are interested in it, I would say we got to jump support. So I'll say if you have time, please share these videos, pass it on, let people know, hey, let's have some fun with these things. Let's have some fun with these cars, okay? And everybody's invited, whether it's, male or female, everybody, guys drive, women drive, everybody drive. You want to see? Let's see. ICE versus BEV. Let's take a couple of vehicles here and there and travel. And what would be nice, a lineup of all the vehicles of the same class. So let's say Mazda, your CX-5, a lot of all-wheel drive vehicles in particular. CX-5, right? CX-30, CX-50, CX, 6 across there. CX-90, all that stuff, CX-9, whatever's there, within the last, say, 2 to 3 years, let's take them, line them up next to some Teslas, different category. And one thing too, and Toyota, same thing too, van, SUVs, Highland, and the other stuff. Good. Mazda, we got to work in a van. That MPV you had back then, that was nice. All-wheel drive and four-wheel drive too. We got to work in a van. So, line up van and a pickup truck. But you do have pickup trucks here, but a nice van too, a nice van. Even though I'm not a van, I ain't a van favorite, but I see how practical and how useful they are. We should get one of those too. Nice van. And you've designed them so well, I think there's a lot of potential where you are because vans come in handy. And again, make it all-wheel drive. It's a win-win. Okay? So I don't want to make this too long. Might make somebody's head spin and be like, because 2 minutes is the limit. I've been pushing it now from 2 now to like 19 minutes going on. Just pass it on. Please subscribe if you can. And that term, hit the like button, hit the like button. Just please, just help bro man eat some food, okay? Just go away and just tell me if people like it. Make a nice comment, okay? And just put yes, I like it. Check, okay? Okay, help us to continue. Okay? God bless you. Take care. Rest up well and let's keep it classic. Okay? Take care.